7-Eleven, 7 even back door, Little Joe.
Marcus J, you know, I Steppin. Thank you so much for hanging in with us tonight. We had a great show. We had the ladies in the house. We had the dating pool diva. We had comedian Lissa P. And we love it. We had a great show. We appreciate their presence. And, of course, we always look forward to when we know they're going to be here with us. And, of course, we look forward to them coming back time after time. So we're going to go ahead and end the show as we do every single week with our rants and with our closings. Before we do that, I want to go around and kind of thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Maida, of course, in Jersey City, my hermana. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for hitting us up on the Facebook page and hitting us with the comments that you had. I want to thank China down in Newport News, Virginia. I want to thank Tony for hitting us up, for joining us in studio, hitting us up with the comments that she hit us up with. I want to thank everybody that's listening. We are the highest rated show on globalscaleradio.net. And the only reason why we're the highest rated show on .net, on globalscaleradio.net is because you, the listeners, come to us every single week. Y'all listen to us. Y'all hit us up on the Facebook page. You hit us up on Twitter, and you call us up. So without any further ado, I want to go ahead and pass it on to the ladies, give them an opportunity to say their final words before Big Rube, Colton Banks, and Marcus J go through our rants. We're going to start with Dating Pool Diva. What you got, Diva?
All right. Thanks to everybody who participated in the Diva Diaries. I think it was a hit, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. I want to thank you, Marcus, and everybody else in the crew. I want to thank you for inviting me here, periodically here and there. And hopefully you guys will join me on the blog as well, the Dating Pool blog on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. You can look me up, Author Charisma Brown, and Dating Pool Diva. I have 3 channels on YouTube. And as well, you can check out my website, Free Spirit Enterprises, co.biz, where all my updated information is. So I look forward to everybody checking that out and being part of this Diva Diaries and the Dating Pool Revolution.
All right, we got Lissa P in the building. Lissa P, thank you so much for joining us, bringing the funny, bringing the sexy. Girl, what you got?
Thank you, Marcus J, for having me. Carlton Banks for just sitting in the corner. Good thing you're a Dallas fan, because other than that, we probably have more beef. Big Rube, I love you forever and always. Charisma, you my girl. Again, thank everybody. I really don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. Just upcoming things I have. I will be, in D.C. October 28th at Pure Lounge. I will be in Maryland somewhere November 3rd. And December 12th here, the Underground Dance League will be having their All-Star Boots and Bells edition. So you can hit me up on Facebook for more information on that. And again, support all your people in Richmond and your surrounding areas. Come out. Don't be cheap. That's pretty much it. Thanks again.
Marcus J and Ohio Steppin. I want to once again thank the Dating Pool Diva, Author Charisma, for joining us and bringing us the questions from the Dating Pool blog. I want to thank comedian Lissa P for always bringing the funny and bringing the sexy every time she joins us here in studio. We'll go ahead and move on with my brothers, with our rants and our closings. And as we do every single week from last week on, we're going to start with Carlton Banks. Carlton Banks, it's not unusual, brother.
I celebrated this weekend with my coaching debut of the Silver Jackals, and we ended up with a 3-3 tie. Adrian, I appreciate you scoring that last goal for the team. I just got to know one thing. I saw this little girl throw an elbow at my son. The referee didn't call it. Was I more mad at the ref for not calling the elbow, or was I more mad that this little girl threw an elbow at my kid? I'm yet to figure that out, because I ain't come on the field like I think I could have or should have, but I did yell at the referee. You got to call the elbow. Later on, my son gets hurt because another kid trips him up. Of all things, yes, husbands, men, boyfriends, you know it, the wife came on the field. I was so something embarrassed, okay? I'm sitting here telling her, go back, I got this. Go back, I got this. But no, mama had to come check on her cuz. It got on my nerves that she came out there on the field, got out of her seat, I got this. What you gonna do if you ain't here? Okay, I got this. I'm protecting my baby. Okay, I ain't run out on the field. Heck, I ain't know he was hurt, to be honest. I ain't see him crying till the other coach came out there and grabbed him. I was like, oh, gee whiz, man. Man up. Suck it up. 2 seconds later, he's out there back. Dad, can I get back in the game? Look, Mom, y'all ain't got to be overprotective. Your boys will be boys. Your girls will be girls. And just let them play. They're going to have fun. They're going to get bruises. They're going to get bumps. Look at your own arms and legs. Don't you got bruises and bumps on them already? I mean, damn. Make me sick running on the field. I'm talking about her baby. Her baby, man. You go ahead on with that. I'm done, man.
That's your little corner,
That's
as you
my
like.
little corner.
That's as you like to say. That's his little corner. Carlton Banks. I love it, man. You've been doing. You've been talking to us a lot lately about the soccer field, and I'm glad to see that you out there. You got your hobby. You got Lil Banks out there doing this thing, and I'm glad you're happy, man.
Thank
and
you.
keep Mrs. Banks under control, because you don't want her out there embarrassing the boy. That kind of stuff stays with you forever. Big Rube, it's time for the smash, brother. You gonna smash him, man? What you got?
That's what I do.
Do it.
It's Big Rube. It's a smash. As I read the news, unfortunately, I've become a habit of reading the news. Read today that SAT scores lowest in history. Kids not getting smarter, apparently. Or could it be just the standardized tests? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Parents, I don't have a child. I wish I had a child. I don't want your child, but I wish I had a child. I think that some of us, as whether we're parents or we're uncles or we're aunts or whatever, we need to get a little bit more involved in our child's life. The SAT scores drop every year. Now, they said that a 496 is 1 point from last year. Okay. The writing part was like 9 points from now. So basically, you're telling me kids go to school every day. They can read. They just can't write. Yeah. But they can count, though. Count's cool. Math is fine. But they can read a little bit, even though they're getting worse reading every year. And their writing is getting worse. So, I say that to say this. Are the standardized tests every year, every 2 years still, are they doing what it should be doing? Because if it was, my thought process is that kids will actually be learning something. And the SAT scores will be going up, not down. So, I say that to say this once again. Parents, uncles, aunts, grandparents, if you have a child in your family, maybe it's time for you to get involved in the child's life. Because it makes no sense that it seems like our children are not getting smarter with all this technology and stuff going on now. Our kids are not passing an SAT test, which allows them to go to college better now than they did when I was in school. And I didn't have all these standardized tests. I'm not saying my way is right. I'm just saying maybe we should take a little bit more time in our kids' life. It's Big Rube. It's a smash. See you next week.
It's Big Rube and the Smash. Thank you, Big Rube, for sharing with us as we've been talking in recent weeks about the children. Of course, that's always something that's close to our heart here on Ain't No Half Steppin', Marcus J. And that's always priority. So always glad when you bring it to us on that level. Marcus J. Ain't No Half Steppin', go ahead and end the show as I go ahead and conclude the show with my moment that I like to call the Murph. It's funny, when we ended the show last week, I didn't get an opportunity to kind of go in on this like I wanted to, so I'm going to do it now. News, of course, of Mitt Romney's speech to the supporters in May were made public right after we went off the air. I think it was late Monday or maybe even early Tuesday. Some of the things he said I personally found to be offensive and disturbing on the surface, as well as the meaning behind the words he chose. It led me to look closer at my own political position and why I feel stronger for taking the positions that I've always taken. I'll start off again by declaring myself a proud independent who would have no trouble voting for a Republican or a Democrat. if I felt they truly had my best interest at heart. I don't vote for a party because I truly believe in the wolves and foxes theory. Wolves and foxes are different, but the same. One is more aggressive, one is more passive aggressive, but ultimately their goal is to bite you. You have to determine the lesser of the two evils for yourself, for you personally. But let's get to this 47% thing. Wow, where do I begin? Before that, in February, Mr. Romney said publicly that he was not concerned with the poor. In the video recorded, apparently unbeknownst to him in May, he said that he wasn't concerned with the 47% of Americans who are dependent on the government to feed them, house them, take care of them. And yeah, oh, by the way, he says those 47% don't pay taxes. Nearly half the country. He isn't concerned about them. This man wants to be the president of the United States, and he is not concerned with half of the electorate. It's a statement that's so incredibly honest that it's scary. It's honest because folks typically say what they want to say to folks they feel most comfortable with. Like, your homies, political supporters, allies. It's scary because the polls show that Mr. Romney and President Barack Obama are neck and neck in this election, indicating that even though he's not concerned with folks, many of them are still supporting him. So what is really scary to me is this man seems to say whatever he needs to say at the moment. He says he's not concerned with the poor, nor is he concerned with the 47% of the electorate. But when he's called on it, he says on Telemundo that he's concerned with 100%. So which is it? He says he opposes the Healthcare Act, dubbed Obamacare by conservatives, but he had a similar program in Massachusetts when he was the governor. He flipped it in a matter of hours when asked about this on a Sunday earlier this month on Meet the Press, saying he is, quote, not getting rid of all of healthcare reform, and that there are a number of things that I like in healthcare reform, end quote. The very next day he said, quote, well, of course I'm going to repeal Obamacare. While speaking with conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt, he continues by saying, I've said that on the campaign trail. I think every single day Obamacare must be repealed in its entirety. Of course, completely different from what he had said the day before. I could go on and on about the contradictions in this dude's rhetoric, all the way down to how he ran Bain Capital, outsourced jobs, but now he's running ads blaming the president of the United States for outsourcing jobs, the same president of the United States who bailed out General Motors against the wishes of conservatives and against every single person on that side of the aisle. He ended up being right. He ended up being a big part of why the recession is over and saving many jobs, many jobs. But let's get back to this 47% for a minute. 47% encompasses the seniors on Medicare, most of whom have worked all their lives. 47% encompasses military veterans who served our country and came home wounded and required the assistance of the government they fought for. 47% encompasses homeowners who rely on the tax credit they receive. So Mr. Romney, in making that statement, doesn't care about our elderly, he doesn't care about our veterans, and he doesn't care about anybody who pays a mortgage, people in this room. The sad part is many folks vote by party and not by issues. So because this man is running under the Republican ticket, most lifelong Republicans will vote for this man who has already said he is not concerned with them. I am not, me, Marcus J. I am not a victim who does not care about personal responsibility, but I am a homeowner who absolutely feels entitled to my tax credit. I got family members who are elderly, who are entitled to Medicare because they pay their taxes, likely at a higher rate than Mr. Romney does. I got a dear friend, a personal friend, someone who I care about, who was in the Iraqi war. This person was wounded and now may have problems for the rest of her life, was nearly killed. So if she relies on the government for a little assistance, I don't think it's too much to ask for medical care to be taken care of. And yes, by the same government who forced her to go fight in a war that people disagreed with. The people, the American people. Oh, by the way, I pay taxes. My family members pay taxes. My dear friend, the Iraq War veteran, she pays taxes too. Again, probably at a higher rate than Mr. Romney. This man has no idea who we are. But we know who he is. I don't vote by a party at all. But I vote by likability. And truthfully, some cats just ain't likable. That's the Murph. Marcus's unrelated rant that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about today. It's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody once again who listened to us tonight. I want to thank everybody in this room. I want to remind you of the voter registration. Make sure that you got yours. Make sure you at the polls. I got my voter registration card this weekend, and I'm ready to do my thing in November. I want to say peace to all the stars and all the squares. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley. Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping. Be back next week. Peace.